Alright guys, first batch of information on the Scorpius is out. If you are a rich bastard who spent more than $1,000 in Star Citizen, you are concierge, which means you got this email which led you to the Scorpius page where you get to spend your money before anyone else. This is the way. So the first thing the first thing I did was go to see how much is this going to cost me today. So let's go down through the pretty pictures, the little explanations, the concept art. Ooh, we'll get to that in a second. The brochure, the spinning ship, the stats, we'll get to that. But the first thing I want to know is how much is this going to cost me? Let's go full screen so we can enjoy the pain together. All right. Not bad. Hey, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. You guys are smart. You guys are right. I was way over. I should never go play The Price is Right. You guys called it, all right? I was saying 350, 300. I was way off. Right now, if you're a concierge, you get this deal right here. $200 gets you the Scorpius. I was going to say Stinger. The Scorpius with the paint for $200. Now, I know this sounds ridiculous to those of you who are new to Star Citizen, the idea that someone will spend $200 for a JPEG of a ship. But trust me on this. Once you drink the Kool-Aid, it's not bad. So if you are just buying the Scorpius on its own, once this deal is over, it'll cost you $200. The paint will cost you $11. And if you're using store credit, it'll be $220. Let's just take a look at the other packs while we're down here before we go back up to the cool stuff. You get the Mantis and the Scorpius for $315. Not bad, $350 for store credit. RSI complete pack, $29.51, $3,525. What are you getting with that? And you know what? Not for me, but if you have this money and you like RSI ships, this isn't a bad collection. Look at this, the Scorpius, all right? Not bad at all. Aurora LN, I don't know how you got, well, Aurora LN, best ship in the game, definitely needs to be right up there. The Polaris, decent, very decent torpedo ship. The Perseus, nice, very recently introduced concept gunship. The Orion, the big Mac Daddy of mining, definitely. All the constellations, Phoenix, very nice. The Medevac and the Triage, the Mantis, the Rover, and the rest of the glorious Auroras, all with lifetime insurance. Not bad. Not for me, but if you do like to collect RSI ships, this is definitely a very decent pack. It will cost you $3,900 in store credit. Woo! Sheesh. All right, so let's move up and see what's happening with this ship right over here. Immediately, you can tell by this animation that this ship is not flight ready, because otherwise there'd be a cool video. They're just using concept art and animating it. When will the ship come out, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it is coming out on Q1 2022, right over there, as is listed over here. RSI Scorpius will be flight ready at that date, so Q1 of next year. So if you're buying the ship today, it's going to sit in your JPEG hangar for some time. Let's take a look at the stats. Now, were we right or wrong with our stats? Now, this has an experimental turret. That is nice. Size 3s, decent. Auxiliary weapons. It has a quartet of gimbaled size 2s. That's what I called. And 8 size 2 missiles. All right, we had no idea about the size of the missiles, but decent. Size 2s because they are faster and better for combat in that sense. Not a bad bunch of weapons. The convertible frame, we called it right. The wings do fold back. There it is. There's also an animation below. We'll get that in a second. Let's take a look at some concept art. Now, take a look at that. It is pretty. I like the way it looks. Are they on some Mustafa lava planet? Jesus, Disney, CIG, watch out. The Disney, are they doing a canyon run on a lava planet with X-Wings? Disney is about to send you a letter, Chris Roberts. The mouse is after you. Interesting to note on this image, though, is that the weapons point forward in landing mode. I wonder if you can retract the wings in flight and still have your forward firepower through the weapons like that. Maybe. That'll be interesting, so you can kind of squeeze through tight spaces, maybe. And we questioned, how do you get into the ship? And here's our answer. Notice a little pilot over there and the ladder and a co-pilot. So there are 2 seats in the front. Now, this kind of throws a wrench in my hopes that there is an interior with bunk beds, because if there was, the entrance would be through the back. And as you can see, they're entering... I think that answers that question. I don't think there's an interior. Drats. All right, we can live with it. Okay, so canopy slides forward, much like the F8. Pilot, co-pilot go in. And so are our hopes and dreams being dashed of there being an interior. Maybe there still is. Maybe. We'll see. No, but doubtful. Otherwise, they'd be entering from the back. Never mind. Let's move on. More pictures here. We saw this image already. Firing backwards. Very cool. Very cool image over here. Flying through the lava fields. And here we have one shooting backwards also. Nice imagery. Gotta say, the concept artists always do a wonderful job, especially with these sales pages. And on ice and in space, we saw this one. All right, that's it. So now let's take a look. Let's leave the brochure for now. Here we go. This is nice. Look at this animation. Isn't it beautiful? Nice. Wings open up. Beautiful. All right, so let's pay attention to those kind of winglets at the back. Notice when the turret swings back, those retract, offering a wider field for that turret to move around. I was wondering about that. That answers that question. It definitely has a bit of Mustang vibe from the back like that. And the turret kind of pulls back up. Nice. I like it. The more I stare at this, the more I like it. But before we get too excited, let's take a look at what the weapons on this things are. So first of all, the size 24 in length, max crew of 2. 4 size 3 hard points and full of size 2 repeaters. So you can put laser repeaters or ballistic. Size 2 gimbals. Otherwise, it is fixed. Now, if you are going with 4 size 3 fixed weapons, obviously remote turrets and additional 4 size 3 fixed weapons, here's my question. All right, if you as a solo pilot are taking out this ship, why will you choose this ship over a Saber? All right, Saber, fixed size 3s, has 4 of them, puts out 1,760 DPS. So as a solo pilot, if you take out the Scorpius, you are basically matching the Saber in DPS. Now, no doubt the Saber being smaller will be more maneuverable. The heavy fighters, probably a little more sluggish. If you're going fixed weapons on your heavy fighter, will you be able to stand up against a Saber? Questionable. I guess we'll leave that up to the fighter guys to figure out for us. But I'm skeptical because this ship will be slower and will be bigger. And we'll take a look at the shields and other armaments in a second. But toe-to-toe with a Saber, we may have to lean Saber for that, unless you have a co-pilot taking care of the turrets, which doubles your firepower, giving you roughly around 3,500 DPS, which is crazy. All right? A heavy fighter, 2 pilots, 3,500 DPS. It wrecks. It's going to wreck every other fighter ship in the game, almost, if there are 2 people who know what they're doing in this ship. So that is the selling feature of it. We'll take a look at more stats in a second. Let's go to the brochure for that. So read the brochure. Let's see what they're saying. Can they convince us if we're on the fence about it? Let's go. Okay, front profile. It is schmexy. The definition of a game changer, says Commander Vic Jacarte of the 999th Test Squadron. More fancy images. It's a lethal enforcer. I'm offending all the lore guys who spent so much time making this. Should we read it all? We'll read it later. But anyway, let's take a look quickly. I want to get through this. We've seen that. It's got a rear-mounted turret. More pictures. All right. This is a nice shot. I like the angles. I like the color. I like the sleekness, the aggressiveness of it. Yeah. This is selling me. I'm sold. Am I? Almost. I'm sold. Yes, I am. The turret looking mean, full of size 3s. If the pilot... Do you think the pilot will be able to slave that turret? It's going to be too OP. They won't allow it. Or maybe they'll allow you to put a different, smaller turret on. Between the F8 and the Scorpius, I'm going to have to lean to the F8 as a solo ship better. We'll see. But if in any way the pilot can ever slave that turret, even in a reduced manner, to himself, even add 2 more of those guns to pilot control, it may be a contender for the best heavy fighter. We'll have to wait and see. Here we see the firing arc of the turret. Now this has a lot of range that is pretty good. Is it the Prowler that can shoot backwards, but then the tail is in the way? So definitely being able to swing back and fire behind you in that wide arc is a big plus, especially if you are involved in a tactical retreat. You can still dish out the damage. So nice ceiling feature, and obviously the big ceiling feature of this ship, no doubt. We've seen that. Here we see the nice picture of it. Yes, ready for anything. The Scorpius fighters absolutely sing in all sorts of desperate combat situations, says Lieutenant Commander Gabba Werner of the 188th, which is a terrible squadron, but that's it. Oh, stats, here we go. All right, what do we have? 2 pilots, yes. 1 small life support. 2 small shield generators. 2 small power plants. 1 small jump drive. Really? 1 small quantum drive. Huh. 1 small quantum fuel tank. These, there's nothing really impressive here, right? 8 retro thrusters. The 4 size 3 gimbaled hardpoints. The turret and 8 size 2. You know what? Okay, I don't know. Maybe we have to fly it. There's nothing overall too fancy. Okay, this ship is not OP in any sense when it comes to the components. I guess we'll have to fly it and see. For my money, it is the best 2-seater in the game, hands down, says Skip Prescott of the Bremen Defense Force. And that's the rear end of it. And that concludes the brochure. All right. So, yeah, you know what? Nothing overly impressive as far as components. As far as a solo ship, not impressive either. But as a 2-pilot ship, definitely good bang for the buck. We'll have to see what kind of performance it gives in the game itself. And also a slight warning for anyone buying the ship just on the stats alone. Be aware that the stats are always subject to change. CIG is always balancing things. They may nerf something, they may buff something else. We have yet to see. And that pretty much concludes what the Scorpius is offering. Overall, is it worth a buy? Now, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm a big fan of the design. Even if as a solo ship itself, it's nothing great, I still think it looks good. And for $200, I haven't bought any game in some time, so I do have $200 in my wallet free. I will be getting that. That is my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know. If you enjoy this content, post your opinions below. Thumbs up. Your comments always appreciated. I'll catch you in the next one.